Why do liberals never get laid? They are too exhausted
Republicans are not picked
from fucking America.
Hello my fellow bananas, Khumo, welcome here, welcome back to my YouTube channel where people watch me speak about whatever crosses my mind, and I'm okay with that. That country accent is a little bit butchered, but anyway, in today's video we're discussing LGBTQ conservatism and why conservative gays exist in the first place, because I'm genuinely interested, and I sure am curious as why these homosexuals ever think they could be a part of us. Recently, a video has been making rounds of Michael Knowles at the CPAC. If you don't know what the CPAC is, it is the Conservative Political Action Conference that took place this year, where he was speaking about the eradication of transgenderism.
And for the good of society, and especially for the good of the poor people who have fallen prey to this confusion, transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely. The whole preposterous ideology.
Essentially, what he was doing was calling for the genocide of trans individuals in the United States of America. However, he denies that.
CPAC speaker calls for transgender people to be eradicated. Did I say that? I don't remember saying that. Did I? Hold on, let me look through my speech. Oh, of course I never said that.
And with the virality of the video, as well as gay people and allies expressing their concerns, there has been a particular group of individuals agreeing with the statements made in that video, and those are conservative gays. Which was funny to me at first, but then I realized that these people aren't playing, they're actually being for real, because I've been seeing circulation of images like this, as well as videos like this.
LGB have nothing to do with the TQ+. They need to be split up. All the progress that's been made to make everyone equal and gay acceptance, I feel like it's being washed away because of how radical the TQ+ side of things has become.
Essentially implying the separation of gays, lesbians, and bisexuals from other sexual identities and orientation. And with LGBTQIA+ rights being under threat in America and all over the world currently, the last thing that I expected to see was a divide within our own community, but it is happening, so I want us to explore that today. Also, that dumb Michael Knowles is nothing but a theater kid. LGBT conservatism refers to LGBT individuals with conservative views and beliefs surrounding everything from politics, societal constructs, as well as religion. To my surprise, LGBT gays aren't new to the world of politics. In fact, they have been around for years, dating all the way back to the 1700s. In the modern context, however, the individuals that I have been exposed to are usually cisgendered white individuals, with the exception of Christian Walker and obviously others like him, who are too comfortable in their white privilege, better yet, cis white male privilege, to care about, learn about, nor empathize with the experiences of other individuals, especially other individuals who belong to a different race or different identity. For the sake of the points that I want to discuss in today's video, I will be using videos from our fellow gay conservatives in order to steer the conversation. Before we get into the nitty-gritty chop things, you know I'm all about nuance here on my channel, so I want to know why conservative gays exist in the first place, because there must be good reason why one would willingly side with people who would rather live in a world where you don't exist, right?
Gay Republicans are really having a rough go at things, especially now that they've been explicitly rejected by the GOP in Texas.
Right? Let us explore some of their reasons. I mean, what did they say? It's easier to be gay in the Republican Party than to be Republican in the LGBT community.
It is easier to be Republican and tell them like, hey, I'm gay, than it is to tell like the gay community like, oh, I'm Republican and I support Trump, or whatever you want to call it.
I just want to know why that is. The reason why is that LGBT gays believe that America is best run by the Republican Party, which is purely subjective. According to them, Republican politicians know what they're doing, have a strong economy in mind, which that part is true, and support law and order, as well as care about the greater good of America.
So yeah, actually, I do think it is within my interest to vote for politicians who have common sense, who support law and order, who support a strong economy, a livable society. Those are all within my interest, actually. Thank you.
Which is funny to me because Republicans are very individualistic and do not care about the greater good of America, but just the greater good of themselves. Also, these are the very same people who think critical race theory and critical gender ideology are a real threat to the United States. But we're not gonna get into that. Reason number 2 is that they don't believe that their sexuality is a big part of who they are, therefore they can separate that part of themselves from their political views.
I also place my morals, my values, and my beliefs far ahead of who I'm sexually attracted to. Quite frankly, being gay doesn't change anything about me, nor does it define me in any way at all.
Which, if you really think about it, what does that sound like to you? I'll let you sit on it because we're going to address it. Reason 3 is that they believe in meritocracy, which they feel thrives better under Republican governing. That by putting in the work and putting in the effort, you can achieve whatever you want in the United States of America.
And you understand that you can achieve anything that you want to achieve in this country so long as you put in the effort.
And lastly, they feel that being gay in America is way better than being gay in other countries. Again, another debatable topic. So those are the reasons that I have gotten so far, and none of those stand because I can already think of plausible arguments against them. But anyway, in the words of Clarkson Lawson, he says that he agrees with everything that the Republican Party stands for, except their take on gay marriage.
I pretty much agree with the Republican Party on every issue besides gay marriage.
Because he's gay, right? Now that we've heard their side of the story, let us get into it. Now, most of this video will be centered around gay men particularly, but other individuals aren't excluded. I'm just gonna start by calling a spade a spade. Gay men who are conservative are simply too secure in their cis white male privilege. And let's get into why I say that, because I will happily break it down. 1. In a country like the United States of America, it is very convenient to be white. And add being right-wing to that, you find yourself in a sweet spot of the nation. One of the common sentiments shared by these men is that they feel seen and valued by the Republican Party. And to that I say, obviously, you're going to feel seen and valued by a party that is made for you. The GOP at its core is very white. Sure, they may employ people of color here and there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they care. This is why I will always say that you are white before anything else. You can be gay, you can be poor, you can be disabled, but being white automatically puts you on a pedestal above the rest. And remember, this is not me attacking white people, but if you don't agree with the last statement, let's get into my next point. The whole identity separation that they so proudly claim. While you do get a lot of white gay men who acknowledge the fact that being queer makes them a part of a minority, not always for the right reasons, but this video is not to discuss that. Many conservative gay people love saying that being gay does not define them at all. In fact, Christian Walker for some time didn't even want to be called gay because it meant grouping him with us, individuals who care too much about their sexuality.
But I'm not gay. Sorry. I feel as though in 2022, the gay word means you go to pride marches, you go to the gay club every week, and you're a leftist. Love me, hate me. I'm not those things.
I mean, after all, what you do in private automatically define your worldviews, politics, and culture. This is how they're able to side with the right side without much care, which is absolutely kind of like dumb for 2 reasons. 1, you being on their side whenever they're campaigning is very beneficial, because remember when they were running, they used their gay supporters to say, hey gays, come over to the rock, we have gays here too. And this was all happening while Mike Pence was openly talking about conversion camps. Also, let us not forget the anti-LGBT laws that he enacted while he was governor of Indiana. Oh, but we were told not to worry about that because Charles Moran believes that Mike Pence is not a real threat and he's comfortable with him because he will never run for US presidency. They seem to do this a lot. It seems to be a pattern whenever they're campaigning. I mean, in 2016, Trump made some very LGBTQ friendly appeals, and in 2020, he announced the LGBTQ coalition with the openly gay US ambassador of Germany. At the time, it did seem progressive, but we constantly see how many conservative individuals do not share the same sentiments.
I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens from the violence and oppression of a hateful foreign ideology.
I mean, sure, they may clap whenever Trump mentions us in his speeches. However, outside those speeches and conventions, their actions do say otherwise. And what these right-wing gay individuals fail to understand is that they're just pawn pieces. Just pawn pieces. Being a part of them and pushing their narratives isn't gonna make them accept you, baby. I mean, after all, you are still gay. The great America has no place for you.
It is now abundantly clear that gay Republicans have failed at being integrated into the Republican Party. The Republican Party is seeing a sort of resurgence of overt homophobia. Now
let us get into the male privilege part. It is so easy for these gay men to be conservative simply because conservatism at its core benefits the man. I mean, one of the points made a lot by straight men whenever we praise gay people is, hey there, is it still okay to be a white straight man in America who just wants a submissive southern wife and goes to church and blah, 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 blah? Because conservatism puts the cishet man at the top of the food chain and everything below it becomes lunch. I mean, a great example of this was when white women did not care when POC women were expressing their concerns with the Republican Party coming into power, until the overturning of Roe v. Wade, which, if you don't know, leaves it up to individual states to curtail or outright ban abortion rights. And all of this basically demonstrated that they too are still women despite being the preferred white race. Then only did white women start acknowledging the faults in the right side. However, it wasn't all women, as there are still some who believe that their rights are above being compromised. And for these gay men to say that they agree with everything that the Republican Party stands for, know that they are, at the end of the day, still white men. The only thing that they may stand to lose is gay marriage, and if worse comes to worse, criminalization of homosexuality. However, they will still be fine.
So he's a despicable human being who didn't mind everyone else being discriminated against. And I'm sure he thought, no, the Republicans will be good to me when I'm the last one. I'll be the good one, okay?
Now let us talk about cis privilege. Trans people have been fighting for a long time to be respected, acknowledged, accepted, or at least tolerated. Trans people continue to face harm every single day, online or in person. Trans people don't even have access to proper healthcare yet. Trans lives are at risk. Huge risk.
They do not want us here. They do not want us alive. We are witnessing the beginning of history repeating itself.
And the only people that have been fighting by their side are us gay people. Because one, they were fighting beside us when we were fighting for basic gay rights. And two, we're queer people who are supposed to be in community because we have similar experiences. However, these conservative gay men seem to think that that is not the case. I mean, Clarkson, funny enough, was on Jubilee a few months ago speaking about trans men and how society does not need to accommodate them. The same society that did not accommodate him as a gay man just a few years ago.
My biggest question for the other side really is, are you happy? Anybody that wants to fundamentally change society and change gender roles, to me that's not happiness. And if we want to fight for acceptance, we need to start with acceptance, which is accepting society for what it is.
It's so funny to me that they fail to see the parallels. And then you get people like Caitlyn Jenner helping spread anti-trans rhetoric besides being trans herself, just to get brownie points with the conservatives? Really? Sometimes it doesn't even have to be direct transphobia to get praise. Like when Miss Jeffree Star said that he isn't for the they, them pronouns.
What other bullshit? The they and them. Yeah. How are you a they? What the fuck does that mean? It's stupid is what it is.
Yeah. And conservatives ate that up, calling him based. But you know what the big dog said, aka Matt Walsh? They said, nope. Jeffree cannot be based. He is still a gay, cross-dressing, trans activist man with neck tattoos, makeup salesman. However, even though the big conservative dogs don't agree, statements like that enable transphobic behavior to take place. Through such statements made by people from our very own community, conservatives can hurt trans individuals, then turn around and say, hey, but even the gays don't even want them. So simply because these conservative gay men aren't trans, and therefore trans issues don't apply to them, they just don't care. Gay conservative Rudy Oftering, or that's how you say his name, I don't really know, argues that all the Republican Party has to do is stop discriminating against queer people in order to not push younger generations away. And while I agree that there's some truth to that statement, I mean, the Republican Party isn't all bad. It is kind of self-centered and focused on only making the Republican Party better for just you as a gay person and no one else. It's giving I can excuse racism, misogyny, uncontrolled gun use, discrimination, and so many other things, but I draw the line at homophobia. And just because we continuously see all of these Republican politicians be outed through gay sex scandals, it does not mean that gay is okay in outright America. After all, these are still closeted individuals who actively voted for anti-LGBT bills and laws to be passed, voting against their very own community. And I, for one, understand that these individuals are born in conservative families, come from conservative towns, so it's difficult to unlearn all of that when you're constantly surrounded by it. However, simply learning about your identity as a queer person will expose you to more than enough information you need to know about how harmful Republican ideologies are and what they're purely rooted in. Lastly, I want to talk about how these conservative gays are so comfortable with erasing very important elements of queer culture simply because they don't partake in them. I guess not walking the parade during Pride Month or attending a drag show makes you also different, right? And that's why you get uneducated twinks like this one.
As a gay man, I've never understood why Pride Month is a thing. Instead of Pride Month, we should have a day. If that. I believe that veterans and those that have served our country should have a month-long celebration. Those that have died for the freedom of our country should be the ones that we should be celebrating all month long.
Like May isn't already Military Appreciation Month. With the state of Tennessee banning drag shows, I'm afraid this is only the beginning. I mean, the news recently has been flooded with fear-mongering around drag queens and trans people and protecting the kids by the same people who are pro-guns, which are killing kids. 100% more than drag queens, by the way. By the same people who don't bat an eye when a youth pastor touches kids.
We need to have a serious talk. If you guys didn't know, Governor Bill Lee in Tennessee signed a bill that bans drag shows in public places. So it's very clear that this entire bill is just anti-LGBTQ+ rhetoric. However, I actually have a question for all the conservatives out there who want to eradicate drag shows and transgender individuals. Are you gonna start doing the same thing with priests, pastors, ministers, automatic weaponry? Oh, it's crickets? I fucking thought so.
You wanna really protect the kids? Let's address those issues first. And this is why it will always be funny to me when somebody claims to be proudly gay and Republican. Because Republicans are always talking about the real good old America. And that is an America that does not have place for you gay people. Republicans are also huge on biblical values and morals, the same morals and values that deem you loving the same sex without harming other individuals as immoral and unwell. So let me close the video with this. To all the conservative gays out there, to all the conservative bisexuals, all the conservative lesbians, all the conservative women out there, after they're done with trans individuals, after they're done with drag queens, with the use of your help, by the way, what makes you think that they won't come for you? Because remember, our rights aren't federalized and vary from state to state. Sure, you may be legal now. Sure, you may have rights now. Sure, you may have some benefits now. But history has demonstrated to us that those could be taken away with a snap of a finger. Let us do better. Yes, gay people aren't a monolith, and if you want to be gay and Republican, that is totally on you. But if you're gay and Republican and you're actively helping enforce harm upon your very own people simply because you think you're above being harmed, I want you to use this video to really think about it. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed me butchering the American country accent. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say down below. Please tell me all of your thoughts and opinions. Please remember that we're here to educate one another. If I was wrong throughout this entire video, put that in the description down below. And as long as you put it with respect, it will be met with that same respect. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Remember, if you do not slay, you do not stand. God bless America.